Hello and welcome to today's video called Malignant Narcissism and Psychopathy, the force behind voting elections. Most people who do not vote refuse to do so because they believe that it's against democracy. What they are really saying is that democracy is a process where decision making happens at the bottom and then makes its way all the way to the top and is therefore essentially anti-racist to the core. Tyranny, on the other hand, the force which the normies support, is based on the belief that decision making should take place at the top and make its way all the way to the bottom, which to some translates as racism. Racism is when you make decisions at the top and they make it all the way to the bottom. So there you have it, racism and anti-racism. When it comes to malignant narcissism and psychopathy, the way I understand it is that malignant narcissists think of themselves as superior modes. The narcissist believes he is superior. When a voter who wants to vote the Republicans says that he wants to do so because he is superior, he is being a malignant narcissist. If he wants to vote the Republican Party because he does not care what the consequences are going to be, he is likely a Fremont. Psychopaths think of themselves as Fremonts. It's the same for someone who would want to vote the Democrat Party, or someone who would want to vote the Democrat. If they want to vote the Democrat Party because they believe they are superior to someone else, then they are basically saying that they are superior votes. That means they are saying that they have narcissistic traits. Then you have the ones who won't vote the Democrat Party because they do not care what are going to be the consequences. Those will then be considered by themselves to be free votes. Whether or not you like this kind of approach to things is all up to you. I am an enthusiast of Lacanian psychoanalysis, which means that I cannot actually diagnose, a family member or someone else, a friend, or someone who is running for office, but I can tell what are my opinions on what kind of mental disorder they might be suffering from, but then refer them to someone for diagnosis. So here you have it. I'm not a doctor, so I do not have a doctor's license, and therefore do not have any right to actually diagnose a person sitting in office as a narcissist or as a psychopath, but I can describe them as being psychopathic. So the malignant narcissist goes to vote in order to cause chaos. The psychopath goes to vote in order to cause chaos. Both agree to cause chaos to each other. because psychopathy is a mental disorder which does not discriminate. On the other hand, narcissism seems to do so, according to some. The narcissist decides to cause chaos by casting his vote as long as he thinks it does not hurt himself or his family or his friends, especially himself. This is why so many votes go to malign narcissists and to psychopaths, because these people, they are going to vote somebody who tells their voters that society is going to become a better place if they vote them. The reality is that society has been damaged, and there is nothing those candidates can do to change that, because changing that, if it can't be changed, requires an act which starts at the bottom and then makes its way to the top. They are not willing to admit that easily. Narcissists and psychopaths prefer voting individuals who do not believe in choice. Individuals who will exclude national sovereignty from the equation. National sovereignty is when a nation is fully sovereign, it's fully independent, and it's not part of something like the European Union. That's pretty rare nowadays. Japan is a good example of such a nation. Isolated, sovereign, not part of something like the European Union, to my knowledge. Therefore, they are relatively independent, despite their copyright system is completely out of date. And it's next to impossible to use it to archive things, because copyright purists are against the free dissemination of information. Back to the narcissism and psychopathy topic and its relationship with voting. The chaos that you see from election results is the result of betrayed promises that the candidates betray in order to fulfill their real goals, which are the opposite of what the promise is going to happen. That's why I make so few promises, and will usually not make a promise unless I have been asked to do so more than 10 times. So psychopathy and narcissism are the mental disorders which are the driving factor behind modern day elections. Because modern day elections, they are designed to promote this kind of thing. That might change in the future, so you will have fewer narcissists and fewer psychopaths in power. The more of them become transparent, like what happened with Jeffrey Epstein, like what happened with the Cambridge student situation, which might be related to narcissism, who knows. And in the case of diagnosed narcissists, diagnosed psychopaths, some of them have said that they think their condition is a kind of a blessing or a kind of a gift. So now you know why so many elections end up chaotically, and that's the intention behind it, which can be traced to antisocial personality disorder. A psychoanalyst can say something like that, but he cannot, I think, actually diagnose someone who has been a celebrity or who is running for office, unless that person asks to be diagnosed, and then the psychoanalyst will simply tell the person to go find someone whom they think can diagnose him. He cannot tell the person what is wrong with them. With them mentally, he has to be a licensed medical practitioner, a licensed psychiatrist or that sort of thing, to be absolutely sure he knows what he is doing. I hope that this video helps. If not, my sincere apologies. And that's it for now.